Welcome to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. I'm Jeff DiVeronica with Steve Bradley, and you can see we are full of Spencerport soccer champions today, and it's been a great week, great actually season for the Rangers in many aspects. Steve Bradley, talk about historic. First time in 15 years, Spencerport boys and girls win the Section 5 championship on the same season, and not only that, Steve, what's the other historical nugget you just uncovered for us?
Well, I mean, it's the first time that they're ever going to state semifinals the same year. The girls have obviously been there a lot, winning state championships in 16 and 17. It's been it's over 40 years for the guys. 1979 is the number. So I would imagine that it's just been a celebration of soccer ever since those sectional titles were secured last week.
Well, let's introduce our guests. We'll start with the lady first. Cate Burns, the junior goalkeeper for Spencerport. Welcome to the show, young lady.
Thank you for having me.
And the coach on the girls' side for his 20th season, Coach Jamie Schneider, who was just a young buck when I first met him 20 seasons ago. I believe is it 8 or 9 titles overall? I know it's 7 in a row. For you.
Yeah, that 2007 we got Coach Wyant was with me. So 8 overall in the time.
And the next to me is Coach Jody Wyant. He's in his 4th season as the boys head coach at Spencerport, a program that won 7 titles in the 70s and then won a few under, I think 4 under Coach Etzler. And you replaced him 4 seasons ago in 19. And I believe it was 19. Yeah. Congratulations on that, Jody. And welcome.
Thank you.
And finally, a guy who flew under the radar, in part because soccer doesn't get covered as well as it used to in this town anymore. Kyle MIlburn, the all-time leading scorer in Spencerport soccer history. Kyle, congratulations on that honor. When did you know that was a thing that you were approaching?
Thank you for that, by the way. I mean, at the start of the season, it was always on my mind. But as the season went on, I kind of put it to the side, and we just wanted to win games. That was really my main goal, win games, and it was a nice thing to have. But being in the state semis is special. It's special.
You get to take a trip with your team. That's really cool. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, Cate, what's it been like in school since I think you won on Saturday and then the guys won on Tuesday? So it's been really like 10 days. Has it been pretty nuts?
Yeah, definitely. We are both very excited to be going to this semifinal this weekend, and credit to the boys team and then to us. And we've both been very successful, and it's awesome. And it's great to have that atmosphere going into this week at school.
For the boys, it's the first title since 2012. They did it with a 2-1 win over Sutherland, the 4th seed. Of course, Kyle, you had the game-winning goal and assist from your guy Weaver. Joey Weaver, Mr. Assist on the team with I think 12 or 13. And you've come up huge in the postseason, Kyle. Yet you're coming off a match in the state quarterfinals where you guys scored 4 goals and 4 different guys scored them. And you were one of them. So what does that say about this group, Kyle? How happy are you to see that? I mean, were you getting marked like a madman in that game? I mean, how did you not cut loose for a goal, young man?
I mean, it just shows how overall this team it's a great team. And even if I don't score, there's multiple other guys that can put the ball in the back of the net. And I mean, we showed it this last Friday.
Coach Schneider, I got a text from one of my friends after you won sectionals, and they said you got to interview Cate Burns if you get a chance, because she gives great answers and gives you everything. What is she like as a presence in back for you in goal? What makes her special?
You know, obviously her goalkeeping as a player has been spectacular since her freshman year, but you know, she had this quiet leadership her freshman year when she won her first sectional championship 2 years ago, and that leadership has just elevated every year. And she just brings a lot to that team as a goalkeeper, as a leader, to, you know, maintain that standard that we have of success. And she's been key with her play and that leadership.
Jody, let me ask you about Kyle. Let's talk about him as a goal scorer. Tell me about him. What makes this kid so special? I mean, Kyle, this is such a historic program, and you are among the greats now. You're the top of the top. It's amazing. Jody, tell me about this young man.
I think what makes Kyle so special is just kind of, he's just a quirky young man. Like he keeps things light in practice, but he's very driven. He's very much a team first kind of guy. Like if he gets that record and we don't win sectionals, he wouldn't want that record. And I think that's just what makes him so special. It's just like he said, we had 4 different guys score against Niagara Wheatfield, and he's all happy about that. Like he doesn't care as long as we win. Like that's all that this young man wants. Like he said, we just want to win games and stack those wins on top of each other.
Steve, let me just run those 4 scorers down and get some names in there. Senior Andrew Wiebeld.
Yep.
Josiah Warrington, Justice Hinman, and freshman Zach Tortora. Kyle, you have 21 goals, 10 assists. Justin Hinman, 13 and 5. Joey Weaver, like I said, 1 goal, 12 assists. Josiah, 6 and 1. Zach, 4 and 3, and John Choate, I think, with 1 and 4. Steve, go ahead. Sorry, just want to get those in there.
Oh, no, that's all good. And the thing, Jeff, I would just want to add, Kyle's just a junior, so to have that record with another season left to play is super impressive. But I wanted to jump over to Cate, who's been on 3 sectional championship teams since her freshman year. You've had some big game experience, Cate, and you're going back to the semifinals. What have you learned from your experience that you can take into this weekend and share with your teammates as you pursue that state title?
Yeah, of course. I've played with some great players over the years, and now it's my turn to be that leader. And coming into this, we're getting ready, and it's a great experience, and I'm happy to be here. And of course, we're a little bit nervous, but we take that as a challenge and get after it.
The Rangers play New Hartford out of Section 3. Tompkins Cortland Community College, no stranger to being there. 12:30 on Saturday. New Hartford, the defending state champ, with a 58-match unbeaten streak. And the Rangers know something about unbeaten streaks in Section 5. And Cate, let me just take you back to early this fall when Churchville stopped your Section 5 winning streak. This team hasn't lost many matches over the last few years, but what did it do for this group? Was it a pressure relief? Was it a wake-up call? What did that loss do for this group?
Ultimately, yeah, I think it was a wake-up call, and we realized that we're not going to be able to win every game, and it gave us the fire that we're still using right now, and we want to build on that this weekend.
Jody, I was at the game where you were able to prevent Pittsford Sutherland from winning its 4th straight sectional title. Great game, 2-1. You got that 2-goal lead. What makes this team a championship pedigree team?
I think it's their chemistry. They're all very good soccer players, but I think it's the team chemistry that they're all working as one. Like they really just are together. They're in it together. We've done a lot of stuff, and they'll talk about that need to kind of work together. And it doesn't matter who gets the goal. It doesn't matter who gets the assist. Like they're not in it for that. And that's what makes a championship team. Those that work for each other rather than themselves, putting the team before individuals.
Steve, let's take a quick break, come back, and then we want to talk to Jody about why he had to get away from Jamie Schneider's program and get on his own. And what went into that decision, kidding aside, obviously, what went into that decision, because he was with the girls program for, I believe, 18 years, and then decided to become a head coach at the varsity level with a tradition-rich team. So we'll take a quick break, come back, and talk more Spencerport Soccer on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.
Looking for a used truck? Can you find one out of 350? At BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com, you'll find one. Love SUVs? 800 are waiting for you to take one home at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com. Add 350 pre-owned sedans, and you've got a total of 1,500 used vehicles only at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com.
Bob Johnson's got your ride. Bob Johnson.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, we look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
You don't choose to get hurt at work, but you can choose the workers' comp attorneys at Connors and Ferris to fight for your money and medical benefits you deserve.
With over 20 years of industry experience, we will give your case our undivided attention so that you and your family can focus on your recovery.
So call Connors and Ferris, the workers' comp attorneys dedicated to fighting for injured workers' rights.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
The best three things here at McQuaid are definitely the sports, the brotherhood, and the service to community. I think that's a really big, important thing that McQuaid stresses, which is part of creating a better and great man. You definitely feel a connection with your fellow students here. It's being all guy school. You're able to relate to each other on a personal level, and everyone's very welcoming here with open arms and willing to be your friend.
Local McDonald's operators care about our local schools, teams, and student athletes. That's why they support the return of high school athletics in the Rochester area and around the state. See you before or after the big game at McDonald's. Welcome back, Section 5. Game on!
Protecting your home's worth pays off when you trust the experienced team at American Custom. We've all seen our homes go up in value, making home improvements a wise choice. If you think your home is worth a lot now, just wait until our team is done with it. Call American today.
Welcome back to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff DiVeronica and Steve Bradley talking some Spencerport Soccer, the only school in Section 5 with both teams moving forward on to the state semifinals. Congrats to the Rangers on all that. And from early on, I knew that when I got to Rochester in the early mid-90s, that Spencerport was a soccer community. Little guy soccer, I was told that was a thing in Spencerport. I heard for a long time how the Spencerport boys were awesome. In the 70s, they won 7 titles, and now the girls have 7 consecutive titles themselves, and the boys are back on the climb too. With us, we'll go through it all again. Jody Wyant, the coach with the boys program, Cate Burns, the goalie for the girls head coach, Jamie Schneider, and also Kyle MIlburn, the all-time leading scorer in the history of Spencerport Soccer. Unbelievable. These two teams play on Saturday. Stinks that you're going almost the same time. The boys play at 10 a.m. in Middletown against Amityville Memorial, and then the girls play at 12:30 a.m. or 12:30 p.m. I should say at Tompkins Cortland Community College against New Hartford. So, Steve, I'll shut up. Take it away.
That's a great setup. Coach Schneider, we'll start with you. Second half, 7 straight sectional championships. It's probably a question that we've asked before and you've been asked a lot of times, but when you have a level of success like you've had, how does it continue to build, and how does each team kind of form its own identity and figure it out for themselves as they become champions?
I equate it to the standard that the previous team set. You know, the standard on the field and off the field of what we need to do. It's never easy. And a moment ago, we pointed out the loss to Churchville. As Cate said, it was a wake-up call. You know, we lost a lot of talent last year, and we used it as that. But you know, something that how are we going to put this together? And you know, we had to change quite a few positions and put it all together. Credit to the team for doing that to know how are we going to get the success back with one another. But they were able to take that, that disappointing loss and build off of it, and, you know, haven't dropped the game since. So it's that standard that they've set to find a way, and they have fun along the way.
You know, that 2007 title, that was the one with Brittany Kinman. They were just youngsters, right? That actually ended a very long drought for the Rangers. I don't think Spencerport had won one since 1980 for the girls.
Yep.
It was a long drought. So this is a program that really needed to be energized, and you've done that, Coach Schneider. And I want to mention, Cate, I'll be honest with you, I thought this was the year, I talked to some of my soccer people, that this was the year Spencerport needed to reload, but might not win a title. I mean, look at some of your goal scores. Lindsay Leonard, 19 goals, 14 assists as a sophomore. Those are Kinman-like numbers, right, Jamie? I mean, Elena Solano, 4 goals, 9 assists. She's a junior. Emily Peacock, 9 and 10, freshman. Liana Tata. If you don't know the last name Tata, you know soccer in Rochester. She's a freshman, 9 goals, 3 assists. And then your senior came through, Cate, Kathleen Fitzgerald, with a huge goal in a match in the regionals where y'all hadn't fallen behind in a match in a long time, but you fell behind in that game. What did you see in the eyes of your teammates after you fell behind the other day in the regionals?
I saw that we wanted it, and we wanted it more than them. And ultimately, it came down to it, and we put it away. And I think that it definitely shows a lot of character for our team. And as Coach Schneider said, we had some good talent that left us this coming year. And now we had some younger people step up, and we're getting it done. And it's really amazing.
Jeff, you mentioned that Coach Wyant and Coach Schneider had worked together for a long time on the girls staff, and Coach Wyant, kind of a two-parter for you, if I may. Could you discuss the decision to come over and coach the boys? And did you take any bit of Jamie with you? Do you ever find yourself uttering a Coach Schneiderism on the sideline or using the same terminology or language?
It was a very difficult decision, to be honest with you. I have 3 daughters, and that weighed into it. But ultimately, I think I had this itch where I wanted to try and see if I could do it, if I could bring that level of success to the boys' side. And, Tom Metzler, occasionally I would go down in the weight room and kind of work out and stuff like that. And Tom would be in there, and, he kind of said, he goes, "I think I'm done." I'm like, "You're not." He had been saying that for a while. I'm like, "Tom, you got another 2 years, 3 years in you. Don't worry." And he's like, "No," he goes, "I think I'm done." And so that kind of put in my head, and I was just like, man, I don't know. I came home and I talked to my wife, and, we kind of just thought about it and talked about it. But I guess ultimately the decision was made. I just felt like I wanted to see if I could do it. I wanted to see if I could be successful. Like Jamie and I were on the girls' side. I was wondering if I could bring that to the boys' side, and we did it. And, the first year we had a lot of success, and, we've been trying to build towards that. And, I just didn't know how special the group was that was at that time, a bunch of probably 7th and 8th graders, but here they are now, and they're doing well, and they're playing great. So, and I there's definitely a part of Jamie that I've brought over, absolutely, without a doubt. The
like what?
Preparedness. I think
Yeah.
the big thing is the preparedness. How hard Jamie prepares. He taught me how to kind of scout other teams. I didn't have the background that he did in soccer from where he played. I played soccer, obviously, but I didn't play collegiately. But I took a lot of that, and I listened. I did a lot of listening and learning, and from Jamie, and Jamie and I talk all the time still. Jamie's a good friend. We go on vacations together, and it's just like, I think it's that willingness to prepare and to put in the hard work. And if you're willing to put in the hard work, you can find success, and that's what we're done.
So how old are your daughters?
My daughters are 7, 9, and 11.
Well, we can get Schneider out of here, and you can go back to the girls at some point, right? Kyle MIlburn, let me ask you about your career coming up. Have you always been the guy, or have you become the guy? Because that doesn't always happen where you're always the goal scorer. And then tell me, I want to tell you talk about your moves, but tell me about that. Have you always been the guy?
He's him. He's him. Don't let him fool you. He is him.
I've definitely built into my freshman year. It didn't go, as I expected it really, but I had great guys on my team like Vince Ranieri, Pat Ublocker, who really helped me, and they helped me keep my confidence up. And I still get texts from them to this day, just congratulating me for the season, saying it's amazing to see I have that support from players that were so good back then.
Also had the game-winning goal, Steve, in the semifinals. Tough one against Thomas, 1-0 in that one. And you've had 6 goals and 3 assists in 5 postseason matches. So, does the goal get bigger? Do you get into zones where you just feel like you're striking the ball better, or the goal feels bigger?
I mean, the balls that my teammates play, they put me in the perfect spot just for me to put it in the back of the net, and it's been going pretty well so far this season.
And yet, Steve, the record breaker was actually an assist, wasn't it? So when you was it to Winslow? I think maybe was it to?
It could have. I think Weeville might have been Weeville.
I think it was to Justice.
Was
Okay.
Justice. I think it
Yeah.
was.
Okay. Hinman, you're a guy. I beg your pardon. Did I say Winslow? Because there's a Justice
Yeah, you
Winslow.
had Duke basketball on the
He's a
brain,
basketball player. See what happens when I don't cover soccer every single day. Steve Bradley, take it away.
Coach Schneider, been to the Final Four before, won it all before. What's the message to the team get on the bus and head that way and go into this weekend? Because most teams don't have an idea that they know that their season is going to end on a certain weekend. That the season can go through this weekend and then there's a hard stop, and you want to go as far as you can. What's the message about this experience that they're about to embark on?
We want to have a good experience in general for that trip, but we're there to win it. And, we'll have a good week of preparation, and hopefully we've built on the past few games. And I think to build up to that best performance, what do they need? It's a big game. What are they going to need to have that excellent performance? Because I think the message today, when we broke down film and started prepping for the week and stuff, was the margin for error is small. These games, we've, like you said, the past 5 state tournaments, we've seen it all. We've won. We were co-champs. We lost in overtime in the semis. We lost in a final 1-2-0, and last year shootouts in the semis. We've experienced it all. And I think we look at that, and what we really focus on to bring our best game is the margin for error is so small. And how can we prep? How can we prepare the best for that margin of error to go our way? And when I look back on the championships, even sectional championships, it's small, and everything we can do to prep, everything we can do at practice to get us to our best is important. So that's the focus.
I don't remember the logistics of this, Jamie, but I think it happened at Tompkins Cortland Community College. And I do remember that I think it was the year that you tied for the state championship. But I don't remember exactly what Leah Weingender did. I don't know if you guys were down or you were up, but I remember she scored like 2 goals really late. You'll know it exactly, but she did something miraculous. And I remember writing about the fact that she basically rescued you and got you a piece of the state title. What happened in that match?
Yeah, in that state semifinal or state final, Pearl River scored, and Leah scored 2 minutes later, and that put us in overtime late in the game. They scored, we scored, and then in overtime, Pearl River scored. And then Leah responded again,
yes,
40 seconds later. And what a terrific player. And actually yesterday, she scored a goal for UB over Ball State, and to propel her UB women's team to the NCAAs the second time in school history. So it's great to see her doing well and still scoring goals. And now she's NCAA Division I bound.
See, Steve Bradley, that's the kind of stuff of a Section 5 AGR Player of the Year does right there. Leah Weingender. I think we won a couple rounds that year in the war room with the DNC about who was going to be the player of the year. I don't even remember who else was a candidate, but I do remember I went in that room going, I'm not leaving this room until Leah Weingender is the player of the year. Right, Steve?
I remember that. Hey, Coach Wyant, same question for you. It's your message to your team as they embark on this weekend.
I think the message has been, don't let the moment get too big. Like, we're trying to keep them calm and relaxed. We keep talking about how they've been playing soccer since they were 4, 5, 6 years old. Those that went to Spencerport, we were kind of talking the other day about playing tyke soccer over at Terry Taylor, and they've been doing it all their lives, and they've been doing it because they love the game so much. So, obviously we want to win, but we don't want the moment to get too big. And we know the moment is big, but just enjoy, have fun out there. Cause that's why we started playing. Like, you fell in love with this game because it was fun. And what we're chasing now, we're chasing for each other, and just let's go out there and have some fun. And we're going to prepare, and we're going to do everything that we can. And we're going to try to win it. I mean, we've got nothing to lose. It's 2 games. It's a 2-game tournament. If you win, you get to go on to play another one for the state final, and let's enjoy it.
Jamie, didn't your group in the 7-year run here, didn't year 1 end up with a state championship? Wasn't that?
We did, yeah. Coach Wyant and I, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to wait a year, right? You don't need to wait 2-3 years. Just do it right now, Jody, right?
Yeah, sometimes like that naivety, the lack of not knowing is in your best interest.
Kate, I feel like we've been ignoring you, and I apologize. I want to ask you about you being the woman or the girl, right? To be in goal. Not everybody can do that. Who was the first one to put you in goal, and what's it take to be a goalkeeper? What if you had to tell a young 8-year-old girl, here's what you're going to see the next few years. Do you want to do this? Well, who put you in goal first?
See, it was kind of my decision because of, well, as I've heard from my parents, I guess I didn't want to run a lot. So we went in the goal, and it's evolved into what it is today. And my advice for younger girls coming up is to just not be afraid. You know, it's going to be something that's scary and people might question how you do it, but honestly, you just go out there and be confident in yourself.
Yeah,
I like that, and that's a great answer. What, you know, and I can see that as a future clip, Jeff. Mark that one away. For Kate and Kyle, any superstitions or anything that you do before every game just to make sure that you know, you're set mentally and everything's you've got karma on your side? Start with Kyle and then kick it up to Kate and see what we come up with here.
You know, I don't really like to eat food before a game because I think I've thrown up, before almost every game during this run. And the one game I didn't, I actually had to come out of the game and throw up. So nothing really else besides that, just throwing up basically.
The moment isn't too big, Kyle. The moment isn't too big, right?
Yes.
No place like home. Okay. Kate, what about you?
Yeah, building off Kyle, I can definitely see that. I have a pregame breakfast. I do vanilla yogurt, and it's like the perfect balance of like not too much, but it's like it's good. And then I always have to have my necklace with me that I always wear. And you know, there's these superstitions, but it makes it fun.
Steve, let's close with this. The Peacocks and the Coons. We don't envy you, right? Those are the two families that have players on both the boys and girls squads, and they got to figure out who's going where. So the beauty of technology is they can probably both watch both matches, but we'll let them figure that all out. So any parting shots for any of you in our gallery here from Spencerport? Any final words?
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers. I love it. That's the clip
Rangers
right there. That's the clip, Steve Bradley. Jody and Coach Schneider, Coach Wyant and Coach Schneider, thanks for being on our program. We do appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kate and Kyle, go get them, all right? Bring it back. Double.
Of course.
Bring the whole thing. Bring the whole thing back.
Let's
all
go.
right?
Just for you.
We'll just shut down Spencerport. We'll have a
That'd
big
be a heck
party
of a
next
parade
week.
on 531.
Oh yeah.
For Steve Bradley and all of our guests from Spencerport and our producer Joe Broad, I'm Jeff DiVeronica. Thanks for watching right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.